In exactly 1 month, down under in Melbourne, Formula One rolls out the garage. 1 month? 4 weeks? Too long, I hear you say. We want some F1 sugar today. Well, ladies and gents, welcome to Silverstone, the home of British motorsport. And for one slightly chilly Friday morning in February, the arena for a showcase of an icon of the sport and newly named Atlassian Williams Racing. Yes, yes, yes. Look at this lot. Absolutely rabid with excitement. We had 17,000 fans from 130 countries enter a competition to be here today, and 47 of these fanatics were deemed the cream of the crop. Some have flown in from the US, some a bit closer to home, all chomping at the bit for some on-track action. Am I right? I thought you might say that. We'll get there, but first, some housekeeping. As you can see, we've converted two of Silverstone's garages into a studio. We've got an audience, invited guests waiting in the wings, and this beast on 4 wheels. FYI, this is not the 2025 official livery. That will be revealed at the FW47 season launch in 4 days' time. But I can exclusively reveal, if I can draw your attention to this seismic detail, Williams' brand new global title partner, Atlassian. More on that huge news shortly. It is the dawn of a new era for this historic team, a new partner, a new formidable driver lineup, a new car. There is plenty to get stuck into. Here's what's coming up. We've got the dream team together for the first time in Williams garb. We know them all too well, but how well do they know each other? We'll find out. Plus, fix up, look sharp. The boss man is with us. James Vowles chats all things Atlassian. All that and an utterly mouth-watering prospect. The FW47 goes for its first poodle on this most famous of circuits. Be still, my beating heart. And if that wasn't enough, how about I throw a Formula One world champion and one of the sharpest pundits in the game into the mix? Jenson Button and Naomi Schiff are in their natural habitat, surrounded by the sweet smell of high-octane fuel.
Oh yes, Steve, that's absolutely right. And there's nothing quite like the smell of high-octane fuel bright and early in the morning. Well, Jensen and I are here in the thick of it in the garage of the FW47. And we're going to get to meet some of the team this morning who are currently working tirelessly to get that car ready for Carlos and Alex a little bit later.
Yeah, there's no glimpses yet, but on the other side of this garage is what everyone's waiting to see. Not long now.
Not long.
Yeah, and all this creamy goodness is taking place on Valentine's Day, a day made for romance. Now, ordinarily, today I'd be making love to my wife under a waterfall somewhere, but nevertheless, I am very happy to be with you lovely people at home and here in the studio. We could not let this day pass without marking it in some fashion. So, in the spirit of St. Valentine, later in the show, one lucky member of our audience will join us on stage to be thoroughly romanced for the viewing pleasure of motorsport fans all around the world. Guys, all I'll say is, I hope you've brought breath mints. I'll let that percolate for a while. In the meantime, let's welcome to the stage the captain of the ship. You won't find a bigger brain in the paddock. It's TPJV, Mr. James Vowles, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. Sir, wonderful to see you.
Good morning, everyone.
They're a fun bunch. They're a fun bunch, James, and we're all looking forward to hearing from your good self. Let's get into the business of Formula One. 2 decades of experience in the sport for your good self, 2 years at the helm of Williams as team principal. How are you finding sitting in the big chair?
It's brilliant. Williams has welcomed me like a family, like the family it is. I feel at home, I feel comfortable, and I feel privileged because we have an incredible team that's forming around me. And look at the car now to where it was 12 months or 24 months ago. That's the achievement of 1,000 individuals all pointing in the right direction. So it feels good, and I'm happy.
Yeah, you should be proud. I mean, whatever you're doing, It's working. You know, at the top of the show, I revealed you have a new title partner, Atlassian Williams Racing. I mean, that's such a big deal. Just how big a union is this, James?
Yeah, so I'm first and foremost, in the history of Williams, this is by far anything close to it, the biggest partnership we've ever had. It's probably one of the biggest full stop in the sport or in sports. But more importantly, it's a partnership of two organizations that have very close synergies on how we act and how we behave. Everything is about collaboration and teamwork. It's about how you pull individuals together and point the right way. It's about being a challenger to other brands and other systems and other dynamics. And for the first conversations we had with Atlassian, it was very clear that how we want to work with each other is how we work internally at the same time. So there was just a gelling from the outset. But it's huge. For us, I think what it demonstrates, we have two of the best drivers. We have some of the best individuals as a part of us. We have individuals that know the journey we're on. They're all over the car. They're a part of it. But they're partners. They're not sponsors. They're partners that want to be a part of what we're doing. And for me, the really big thing is those individuals are part of our journey, believe in our journey, trust in me, and trust in what we're doing. So it's huge.
Gigantic. And it sounds like Williams is about to be supercharged. Can you give me a timeline as to when you think you guys might be up on the top step again?
I mean, the main thing is this. You're going to see us progress forwards, but what I've always said is we've put our focus into 26, 27, and 28. We're developing elements that come online as a result of that. We have this year huge infrastructure changes that come online. We have, as I said before, we were 700 people, or over 1,050 today, and we're not finished yet. There's a lot more in the pipeline. That's all happening in the background. And what I want to make sure that we're doing is not taking just the short-term little bit of gain at the cost of long-term. We're here to make sure we're back to winning championships. To do that, it'll take a little bit more time, but that's the investment we're doing. But as I said, watch our pathway. It should be a good one this year.
Very, very exciting times. Let's put a face to the name. Here's the CEO of Atlassian, Williams' new title partner. Here's Mike Cannon-Brooks.
Good day, everyone. I'm Mike, the CEO and co-founder of Atlassian. I'm excited to announce the launch of Atlassian Williams Racing. For Atlassian, Formula One is the ultimate team sport, where teams collaborate at high speed to get results. They rely on advanced technology to stay focused on their goals, which is where Atlassian comes in. Our teamwork tools and practices get everyone on the same track, so to speak. We share Williams' deeply held values around the power of teamwork, and we also have a few other things in common. While Sir Frank Williams used his earnings as a grocery salesman to build his dream, we started ours with $10,000 and a credit card. As the first global technology company to scale from Australia, we know what it's like to be the underdog. We also know what it's like to have passion, drive, and belief that you're building something great. This team has been through a remarkable transformation, and I believe Atlassian Williams Racing has all the foundations for renewed greatness. I couldn't be prouder that Atlassian is part of this journey as the technology and title partner. I look forward to seeing you all trackside as we cheer the team to the podium.
Yeah. Clearly a team that share Williams' core values. James Vowles, everyone. Let's hear it for him. We'll be hearing more from James later. He's a smart cookie, but I intend to find out just how smart, like Einstein smart or AI smart. We'll find out. Let's head over to the garage with Naomi and Jensen.
Steve, it sounds like you are probably in the third best seat in the house, while Jensen and I are here in the FW47 garage, so that makes it the second best seat in the house. And Jensen, what would you say the best seat in the house today is?
Oh, I wonder what that is. Possibly the one that Carlos has got in the FW47.
Exactly. I would be in agreement with you on that one. Now, Jensen, obviously, big news. The team has got a brand new title sponsor, Atlassian. And as an Atlassian Williams Racing ambassador, how big is this deal for the team and, you know, just as a whole?
I think it just shows the progress that this team has been making over the years. To land such a big partner like Atlassian is a big deal. They can see where this team's going. They can see the leadership of this team and how they've turned it around over the last few years. And also with the new owners, it's a big shift for this team. but still having that family atmosphere that you have at Williams, which is really, really special. You know, everyone here, they're not just here because it's their job, but they're passionate about motor racing. And I think all of that together, we're seeing great progress for this team. 2025 is going to be a really exciting year.
We can totally sense that, and there's been a lot of excitement this morning. Everyone is just ready to see this car get on track. Now, we've probably given you guys a bit of a teaser, thinking we're coming into the garage and you're going to see the car. Not just yet. The bodywork's not on the car, so there's a lot of sensitive stuff going on behind us. Jensen, what can other people find out by seeing the car in this, you know, almost exposed situation? So why do we have to keep all that private right now?
In the naked state. To be fair, this is probably the first time when the body does go on. It's probably the first time this car has been whole ever. Because that's what, you know, through the winter, they're all doing their own different things. And then it comes together for this very, very special day. So this will be the first time anyone has seen this car as one, including probably the mechanics. So there's a lot of sensitive information underneath the bodywork. You know, for this season, they're obviously big improvements, but it's tweaking here and there, and it's that fine adjustment that's going to really, I think, lift them through the 2025 season that we're going to see. Obviously, 2026 is another season, different regs. So, yeah, I think this is what most teams are going to do. So, yeah, keeping everything under wraps is important.
Just for now, though, don't worry. In a little bit, you will get to see the car, but we're going to just keep building the suspense. In the meantime, we're going to head over to Chief Mechanic Ben Howard. Hi, Ben. How are you this morning?
Morning. Very well, thanks. Very well.
How are you feeling? A little nervous? A little excited? What exactly is going on right now?
It's a little bit of both, you know. Obviously, we've had a busy week getting this car ready. You know, but it's always nice to have that first run. I know it's like 1 degree here at Silverstone and everyone's freezing cold, but no, there's a bit of excitement there as well. A little bit of anticipation as well, because, you know, we don't know what we're going to do. Everything's new, you know, all the new parts on there, so it's just part of the shakedown. So
Ben, you said a busy week. But I mean, when did you actually start this car?
We got this chassis on Friday at 5 p.m.
No, but I mean, actually, when was it actually started? When was the FW47?
Oh, this has been ongoing throughout all last season. You know, all in the background. But the actual physical parts, the chassis, we got literally 7 days ago. So it's been for mechanics' point of view, it's been a really busy week. But like I say, excited now. You know, we want to get on track and we'll make some noise and see what it can do.
Okay, well, we won't keep you much longer because I'm sure you've got work right until the minute that car goes onto track. So thank you for chatting to us, and we're also excited to get to see it in a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, Steve, back to you.
Thank you, guys. Very exciting. But right now, it's time to bring out the two men charged with driving a team's hopes and dreams to the checkered flag. Say hello to a match made in heaven, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Okay, so yeah, first things first, good break.
Good break. Yeah, I can't believe how cold it is. My brain can't think, but
it is chilly.
Yes. No, it was good for me. Obviously, training. It feels like it's been a shorter break than normal, just because it ended quite late the season last year.
Yes. Yeah.
So there was maybe only a week break before we were back into training, at least for me. So yeah.
Same for you, Carlos?
Yeah, same. I think. Well, hello, good morning. Freezing morning, everyone, here in Silverstone today. But yeah, it's been a shorter break. But I guess also when you change teams, that break becomes even shorter because you have to go back to work earlier. There's a lot of catch-up things to do. And yeah, I've been spending quite a bit of time here in the UK getting up to speed with my new team.
I'm always fascinated to hear how a Formula One driver relaxes. Is it even possible for you guys to relax? I mean, can you cope without that adrenaline that's injected into your veins from March to December?
Yeah. Yes. I can quite easily,
Yeah. I struggle a bit more to relax just because I'm a bit hyperactive in terms of I love doing sports. So yeah, this winter I managed to go 5-6 days to the Maldives where there's nothing apart from beach and sea. Yeah. After 2 days, I was like, okay, I need to go back to training. I need to start playing some tennis, some paddle, you know, start getting active because lying in the sun, relaxing after 2 days, I was like, nah, this is not for me. I need to go back.
Alex, exciting times for this team. You know, you've got this hot shot in the adjacent garage now. You've got this huge new title partner. I mean, things are popping at Williams.
It is. It's, to be honest, not unexpected. I feel like it's been a long time coming. And, I joined this team maybe quite early on in the Doralton era, let's say. Yeah. And it's great to see. It's almost comforting to know as well that other people are believing the journey that Williams are on. And obviously I was maybe one of the first ones to believe it in terms of...
You're a visionary.
Visionary, maybe. No, it's great. It feels like, especially with Carlos joining, Atlassian joining, there's a real buzz around the team. You feel that. You feel that when you walk into the factory.
Yeah. Well, this is an exciting union. Very exciting. I'm hearing the fans have already given you guys a portmanteau. They've combined Carlos and Albon to make carbon. They're calling themselves carbonaras. Nicely done, fans. Very clever indeed. The name suggests cohesion, a tight-knit duo, but is it factual? Let's find out with a game we're calling...
I thought you were going to bring out some...
Mr. and Mr. In your stomach, Alex. Let's start with Carlos answering questions about Alex here. Carlos, does Alex sleep in his PJs or the buff?
I know. I heard the other day.
He's been watching you.
I heard an interview the other day that you sleep in pajamas.
No.
Someone lied to me then.
Who said that?
Someone said
I think
that.
you were dreaming about it.
So what's the official answer?
Buffs.
In the buff. Naked or
I've never
PJs?
heard in the buff, but I am in the buff.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good
What
man.
is the buff?
Not scared to be naked in bed.
I guess it's no pajamas.
Okay.
Pajamas less.
Here's the next one, Carlos. At what age did Alex have his first kiss? 12 or 16?
He's quite shy, so maybe he took some... 12. 12.
Yeah, correct.
12.
Also, by the way, I got asked these questions obviously for this very reason.
Yeah.
So odd. So odd.
Welcome to the show. We do things a little odd in this part of the world. Here's another one. What is Alex's go-to karaoke track? Backstreet Boys, As Long As You Love Me, or Robbie Williams' Angels?
I think you would know this because we had an interview recently.
Really? I have such a bad memory. Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
Do you know Robbie Williams? Is he big in Spain?
I know. But I am terrible at remembering songs. So.
Can you give us a quick blast?
No.
I thought you'd say that. Here's the last one. Who is Alex's favorite F1 driver of all time, Carlos? Is it Michael Schumacher or Lewis Hamilton?
Michael.
Yes.
Michael.
Yeah.
I think we both grew up seeing Michael, no, in that era. So
is it Michael for you, or is this coming later?
We'll find out. It is going to come later.
Okay.
Yes. It's kind of an unspoken rule not to choose a driver you're currently competing against.
Exactly. Even if it was Lewis, I would have.
You wouldn't
changed it. Yeah.
Did I get 3 out of 4 then? 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. You clearly know this man rather well. Let's find out if you
I'm
got the
actually
same.
glad that you didn't know about the pajamas. If you knew about the pajamas, I'd be worried. If you got 4 out of 4, that's a problem.
Well, Alex, let's find out how much you know about Carlos. Does Carlos sleep in his PJs or the buff?
There's no way you sleep in pajamas. You don't look like the guy that sleeps with pajamas.
You're completely right.
What is Carlos's go-to karaoke track? Sade's Smooth Operator or Cher, Do You Believe in Life After Love? I mean, both seem ridiculous.
I feel like this might be a trick question. I'm going to go with Smooth Operator, but I could imagine you doing both, to be honest.
You're right. Smooth operator.
Okay.
I've heard you sing that in the cockpit, actually. That's kind of your thing.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah, it's your thing.
Yeah. I actually, last night we had an event. I tried to get you to sing on stage, but
But he wouldn't.
didn't do it. No.
Much like you wouldn't sing for me just a moment ago. Now you know how it feels.
Yeah.
Here's the last one. Who is Carlos's favorite F1 drivers of all time? Senna and Villeneuve, Gilles, or Mansell and Alonso? Senna and Villeneuve or Mansell and Alonso?
It's a 4
he
or
chose
2?
2. I asked him for 1. He chose 2. So Senna or Villeneuve, Senna and Villeneuve, or Alonso and Mansell.
I would say Alonso and Mansell.
Wrong.
Incorrect.
You gave a great story about how much you love Nigel the other day, and I thought...
Yeah, he was... I mean, he's a great reference for us as Williams drivers, but...
Yes, but no.
Senna and Gil, I think, I don't know, they were most spectacular, I would say.
Fair enough.
Well, you've got a little bit to learn about one another, but I can't help but feel that this relationship is going to bear fruit.
We start with a tie. That's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for these great sports. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. All right, Alex is staying with us whilst Mr. Sainz gets his game face on. 25 minutes from now, he will be hitting the track in the FW47. Let's head over to the garage with Jensen and Naomi.
Well, thank you very much, Steve. It was great to hear that those drivers know each other pretty well, but they've got all season to get to know each other better. Now, I can happily tell you guys that this is it, Steve. Here is the FW47 in all of its glory. This is, of course, as a reminder, not the livery that you're going to see out in Australia. You will get to see that for the first time in 4 days at the F175 event. But this is the car. So, Jensen, tell me, what are your first thoughts?
Well, first of all, it looks beautiful. It really does. As you guys probably know, there's not going to be massive changes with any F1 cars in 2025, but there seems to be quite a lot of changes to the FW47, which is great to see. Areas they've been working on have been high downforce corners, but also sensitivity. Sensitivity meaning with the downforce. It's very easy to have a peak downforce level, which is always exciting to see the number, but it's the usable downforce that you really want to have. So in-corner downforce, laterally loaded downforce on entry into corners, which gives the drivers a lot of confidence. So that's the areas they've been working on. And today's the day we find out if it works.
Yes, it does look fast so far, but we're going to find out if it actually is fast. In the meantime, we're going to throw it back to you, Steve, but we'll be back very shortly.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. James Vowles is back with Alex and I. Let's get your immediate reaction to the FW47, James. Yum, yum.
You've summed it up well. First of all, well done on that game. I've learned a lot about Alex that I didn't want to learn.
A lot of information.
But for me,
I share too much, I think.
What we were chatting about just in the break is just how good the car looks, how it really just comes alive. And the 47 next door is accumulation. I mean, this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite day of the year. I remember pretty much every single year I've done this because it's tens of thousands of hours accumulated together. And when the car pulls out the garage and you hear it come alive, that is the start of the season. It's where everything kicks off from. So huge emotions going through me at the moment.
I mean, it's the last of the current regulations in 2025. How do you think the FW47 is going to fare?
It's obviously an evolution of last year's car. We've had a reasonable winter. It's always difficult to know, though, because the field, as we finished the last race, I think we qualified within half a second of one another. That's at Abu Dhabi. So the field's closing in together, and what you don't know is how good a winter others have had. What I can say is I'm proud of the work we can achieve, or we have achieved across the winter. When you look at the car, you can see just 1,000 details that are just another evolution of where we were before. So there's been literally no bolt left to where it was. We're making sure we're continuously moving the team forward. Let's see where that falls out.
I mean, I suppose it's quite a big ask, but is it possible we might see one of these fabulous drivers up on the podium this year?
No, nothing's impossible. We're going to remember that happened and a few surprises last year as well at the same time. What I can say is this. We have a lot more of the ingredients available to us. I think on a normal race weekend, it's going to be unlikely. But there are circumstances that will fall our way, and we have two of the strongest drivers that will give absolutely everything, as will I, as will the team. So let's hope.
Alex, it's all to come. The year is stretching out ahead of us. Must be so exciting for us mere mortals. Let me just ask you a really basic question: how good is it being a Formula One driver? Is it as great as we suspect it to be?
Yes, of course. No, it is. It is. It feels like I'm living my dream job. I've dreamed of this since I was 4 years old. It's fun. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that goes with it, things like this. I love my time in the car. I'm going to treasure that moment when I get out into the car for the first time this afternoon. But, I think we all breathe it. Everyone in this room and people at the Grove, we've all wanted to be in Formula One at one point in our lives. And it's a very, very special place to be.
Goodness, I envy you. Alex, we're going to let you head off and head to the garage right now. Thank you very much for your time. Alex, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. James, as wonderful as it must be to be the principal of this team, how much would you trade it to be sitting in that car in the cockpit on race day?
Well, fortunately, they're much better than me, but it'd be nice to have a sneaky go once, let's put it that way. No, I think Alex summarized it really well. I'm here because I fell in love with this sport many, many years ago, and it's an incredible privilege to be here amongst what I would call fans, partners, and people that have spent their life committing to this as well at the same time. So a huge privilege. I'm okay today. It's cold and wet and horrible. Well, not quite wet, but okay to leave that to the professionals. Maybe if it dries up a bit.
Beautiful. Lovely stuff. Thank you, James. Let's head back to the garage. When we return, I'm going to grill the boss man and find out just how clever he actually is. Naomi, over to you.
Well, Steve, I think both Jensen and I are just as eager as you to hear that grilling in a little bit. But in the meantime, we're just over 10 minutes from when Carlos is going to get into the car. So, Jensen, I think, Steve, you referred to it as a poodle. Do you think Carlos is going to enjoy this poodle he's going to take the car out on?
Well, first of all, I've raced against James in a simulator, and he's right. Please leave it to the professionals. Do I think he's going to poodle around? No. Maybe in his terms, but it won't look slow to us out on track. I mean, these cars are just phenomenal. Even when they're not pushing, they look fast. But the first 2 laps is installation, make sure everything's fine. He'll come in and they'll check the car over, and that's when they can start pushing a little bit more and seeing what this car can do. But even on an install lap as a driver, you're excited because you still feel a little bit of what the car is doing, and you're making sure there's no niggly little issues there. You basically know from lap 1 if you've got a reasonable car for the season.
It's almost like a first date, isn't it? Getting to know a partner for the first time. But I want to know, Jensen, with all the development that goes on throughout last season, but particularly throughout the winter, how much actually really changes? Is this going to be an easy fit for Carlos to jump in? He did get a few laps after Abu Dhabi at the end of last year. But how much will have changed over the winter? Is it a complete adjustment or just some small things?
Well, the systems in all F1 cars will be very similar, but the labels on the steering wheel and the layout of the steering wheel will always be very different from team to team. So it takes a bit of time to get used to. As you said, Carlos had the winter test, which would have helped, and he would have done days and days and days in the simulator, making sure that he knows exactly what to do on the steering wheel if he is asked. So it will feel very natural to him when he drives out this garage, and it's the best time for a racing driver because, as you can see, there's just mayhem in the garage here at the moment. It's so busy, you know, everyone's here excited about seeing Carlos jump in the car. For him, he can't wait for that engine to start up, visor down, first gear and pull out, because it's him in the car and it's the best feeling.
Absolutely. Well, there he is. He's given the thumbs up. He's about to get in the car. It's not going to be long now until we get to see him roll out in the FW47, but it's going to be even shorter until we get to find out how smart James Vowles truly is. Back to you, Steve.
Thank you, guys. All right, here we go then. James Vowles is still with us. It's been said in the paddock that James doesn't just think outside the box, he invents whole new boxes, such as the power of his grey matter. So let's get James out on the open road and see what he's packing under the bonnet with a game we're calling James's Big Throbbing Brain. All right, you nervous?
I am now, yes, definitely.
James, you got this. Trust me, you got this. Let's start off nice and gentle, shall we? What's the only country in the world that's also a continent?
That's Australia, where we're off to shortly.
Bingo. Correct, ladies and gents. There we go. One in the bag. On to the next one. Yes, you can applaud. You can applaud. Although it was a bit easy. We all knew that one. Okay, who created the first ever car powered by an internal combustion engine, and in what year?
So I have some history there. Carl Benz, 1885, and it was a 3-wheeler car, I believe.
No, you're just showing off now. He's done it again. Yes, and it was a 3-wheeler car powered by a single-cylinder 4-stroke engine, apparently. All right, Mr. Smarty Pants, let's kick it up a notch. How did Galileo's observation of the moon of Jupiter challenge the prevailing geocentric model of the universe?
So he observed that the moons were effectively orbiting around Jupiter. And at the time, they believed that everything orbited around Earth, and actually it proved everything orbited around another item, which is the sun, effectively.
You son of a... He's right again! What the? All right. All right. How does the concept of quark confinement in quantum chromodynamics explain why quarks are never observed as free particles? Huh?
Okay. This one is that the forces grow larger as you pull, as you try and separate those. But basically, there's a fundamental force of nature that means that they always will be bound together. And I think it's either in 2s or 3s as a result of it.
Correct. All right, calm down, everyone. All right, here comes the big one. No more Mr. Nice Quizmaster. All right, ready for this one? For the full house? Who won Love Island 2024?
Right. US or UK?
UK?
That's easy. That's Mimi and Josh.
Absolutely correct! Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for James Vowell and his massive brain! Let's head back to the garage. Wow!
Oh, goodness. Well, I mean, wow. Is there anything James doesn't know? It's just genius. Now, apart from the fact that I know you love Love Island as well.
I'm a massive fan.
You're a massive fan. We all
Yeah.
know that. So tell me, what does James truly bring to this team?
Apart from his comedy value, what does he bring to the team? I mean, when you listen to James talk about Formula One and this team, his passion really shines through. But you need more than that, obviously. And for me, I've worked with James for many years, all the way back to 2003, when he was our strategist at BAR. And when I won the World Championship, James was there. So he's seen it all. He's been there. He's done that. He's worked with the best teams, the best drivers. And he really brings that to this team, that experience. His leadership, I must say, has been phenomenal the last couple of years. I've been able to work with him. And he brings so much. And I think everyone looks up to him, and he brings everyone together. Normally when there's a bit of leadership in a team, there's a bit of, some people want to do it the old way, and some people want to move forward and try new things. Everyone has just listened to him. Everyone's come together, and we see the progress in this team, and a lot of it is because of that leadership.
And you can totally see, the energy that's shifted within the team, and it really feels that there's a new sense of motivation. Now, Carlos is sat in the car. He's going to go out for his first run very shortly, but this is the car today, and we've got 4 weeks until Australia. How much is still going to change between now and then?
The team will already have something set up for the first race in terms of the next step with that car. This is what they're going to install. They're going to make sure that all their numbers are working correctly, and then they will have those new parts ready for the first race. Slight updates. There won't be massive things they'll be putting on the car, but there'll be slight updates to tweak the car for that first race.
Well, he's not going to get very many laps in the car today. It's obviously a filming day, so it's around roughly 200 kilometers that they get, but right now he's going out for 2 laps. What is the driver going to be able to read in just such a short period of time?
He's starting to spit a little bit, which is never the nicest for a driver in a brand new car.
Okay.
with quite a few eyes on him, the whole world watching basically. But no, he'll still get a feel. He'll know if there's a fundamental issue with the car, which obviously as a driver, your fingers crossed that never happens. But it'll be the next run when he can push it a bit more, get some real temperature into the tyres and get the car working. And I hope that when I see him, he's got a big smile on his face. It's a really important day today for the driver. They will know whether they're going to be competitive this year or not.
Yeah.
But no other cars on track, just man and machine, still butterflies going.
Oh, massive butterflies. And I saw the drivers interviewed last night on stage with all the partners and sponsors for this year. And you just see the excitement. I mean, racing drivers don't get that excited on camera normally, as you probably know. But the excitement, and they're like, I just can't wait to get in the car. The whole winter's been so long, and it's stressful, and it's long days. Racing drivers don't like long days. But now this is what they're best at. This is what they were born to do, and we see that with them. They're so excited about getting out there.
I mean, you've been there, you've seen it, you've done it, specifically with this team 25 years ago. How is the grand old team looking through the eyes of, a world champion?
Well, back in 2000, I was only 20 years old, so it was a little bit different. I was just excited to be jumping in an F1 car, but the team has grown so much from then. Even from last year, this team has grown so much, and there's also so much more growing to be done over the next few years. But it's nice to see that they've got these big partners, these big sponsors, title sponsor now with Atlassian, who can really see where this team is going and really believe in this team. And that's why they've got 2-star drivers as well. So it's all coming together nicely. It always takes a little bit longer than what you hope, but that's what this sport is. It's a competitive sport, but great to see this team progressing so well.
I mean, on the subject of Atlassian, Williams Racing, Naomi, you know, as pundits, as commentators, as presenters, it's important we remain impartial. That being said, there is just something about this team.
There is something about this team, and you know, this is one of the teams on the grid that's got one of the most competitive, successful histories in Formula One, and it does feel as though there was clearly a period where they had a bit of a lull, they were trailing back, but there was that comeback kid feeling to it, and you can tell that there is such a buzz around it. The whole team is revitalized, and they keep wanting to push back forwards, and we keep seeing little highlights with the team. You know, it's not as if they're always at the back. They're climbing up, and they keep having these sensational moments that give us real excitement about what's truly possible in the future.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you referred to them as a grand old team earlier, but they are picking up new young fans daily. It's a team on the up and up, and the new fan likes that. They want to be part of something, a journey as such, Jensen, yes?
Yeah, and of course, you know, this isn't a family-owned team anymore, but it definitely has those values still. It feels like a family, and I think that's why people love this team, and they're very passionate about this team. You know, they've seen the struggles they've gone through, a team that's won multiple world championships, drivers, constructors. They've gone through the love of a difficult time. You don't want to hear my voice, you want to hear that thing going out the garage. So good. So good.
There it goes. There it goes. Now we kind of hold our breath. You know, it's like a shakedown. Is everything going to stick together? All the parts going to stay on the car? Is it going to come back in one piece? I have a good feeling it is.
I think we can hear a little bit of Carlos chatting away there. Let's listen into team radio, and let's see if we can get a little back and forth from the team and Carlos there.
FW47. Radio check the back straight, please.
Yeah, radio's good.
Jensen, I know it's been a minute, but can you relay the emotions Carlos might be feeling right now? Wazzing that car on the track.
Thank you for making me feel very old. It's not been that long.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah, it's all in his hands as well. You know, he's the driver that's been chosen to drive out onto the track. Doesn't mean anything, you know, in terms of who they choose, but there he goes.
Okay, maybe again the short track layout,
yeah.
Remember junction, turn
first
4,
lap,
turn 40.
down one gear into turn 1. You know, it's good. I mean, that's still 100 and something miles an hour, but a little bit slower
good so
as
far.
the installation level.
Yeah, all good.
All good so far. That's what you want to hear, Naomi.
That's what you want to hear, but just, you know, to carry on from Jensen's point, it's almost, if you think about it sentimentally, the very beginning of his journey at Williams. It starts today. It starts with these first kilometers, and whilst, you know, this is just the very beginning, he's made it very clear that he wants to go further with his team throughout the future. So just the first step in the right direction. You know,
all good. Just really cold in here, but all good.
Really cold. I bet he's feeling that in the cockpit.
Yeah, he's doing installation laps at Silverstone now, not in Italy.
60 kph on Max engine.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? Because it's his first day in the FW47, and to come back in, no shunts, no wiggles. It's gone well.
Yeah. Always nice to see the car come back
in one piece.
But as I said earlier, you know, it's such a big day because the mechanics and everyone, this is really the first time they've had this car together. You know, every single part on this car and the bodywork together, and they go, oh, look how well it fits together. And I think, you know, this year, from just talking to the mechanics, everything has fitted together nicely. And I know that sounds silly, but it doesn't always happen. But you see the you know, the way the bodywork fits together and everything. It's beautiful.
It's a handsome beast, isn't it, Naomi?
It looks lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, looks can be deceiving though. But for a starting point, looks fantastic. We saw some thumbs up from the mechanics there. So far, so good.
I believe Jensen's going to take a stroll in and try and get a one-on-one with Carlos there. Jensen, happy hunting.
Yeah, this is always an interesting one. He's done an installation. He's going to look at me like, what are you doing, asking me a question? Don't you know better?
If it was anybody else, he would, but I'm sure he wants to talk to Jensen Button.
I'm going to wait until he takes his crash helmet off so we can see that pretty face.
Look at those eyes. Intensity.
All right. I also want to see if he's got a smile on his face.
Go on, Jensen, get in there. Don't be shy.
You would hope to see a smile on the face, Naomi, at this point, wouldn't you? I mean, he's just got out there. The journey begins.
Exactly. The journey begins. He's brought the car back in one piece, as we knew he would. But most importantly, this does, sort of work as a function test as well. They've got to make sure that all the components are put together correctly. There's no leaks. There's no anything gone wrong. And so far, so good. So everyone looks happy. All the hard work and the culmination of all the hard work and hours and blood, sweat, tears, everything that's gone into putting this car together today is off on the right track.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? Because for us, yeah, we're having a bit of fun here today, and we're trying to make a show of it. But at the same time, for these guys, it's data. They've been collecting for both laps there, yes?
100%. And it's a lot of pressure. I mean, each person individually who puts their effort and input into this car is going to be looking at the work that they've done and to make sure that everything just maintains going smoothly. Wheel gun there in the background. But so far, so good. And this is what you want to see. Obviously, the days, it's still a long day. They've got 200 kilometers, as we said, to get this car out and properly shooken out. But it's starting perfectly. This is what you want to see and what you want to have.
Carlos.
Let's get a word from Carlos to Jensen.
Obviously, that was a long run. You're going to give us all the feedback of how quick the car is, right?
No, not with wet tires on a dry track, but yeah, I can tell you everything went fine, which is good news. An install lap of a newly born car is always a bit tricky, but everything worked as it should, and now we're ready to get into the run plan.
Excellent. So what happens now? Do they look over the car and what have you, and then the next run you can go and push it harder? Will you be on slick tires?
Yeah, so now first I need to give the feedback. You're not letting me give the feedback to the engineers of the 2 or 3 things that I felt that could be improved or feeling inside the cockpit and everything that I want to obviously talk to them about. So now once we finish this interview, I'll give the feedback, and then we'll get the car ready to run on slicks and probably start pushing it little by little.
Well, we're all a big family here, so I can relay the information for you if you'd like.
You want to?
No. Good luck, man. Thank you very much.
We know how understated these drivers could be, but I'm going to say it. I felt like he was buzzing, maybe more on the inside than the outside, but he was buzzing there.
Yeah, look, as we said a couple of times, it's such a big day for everybody. For Carlos as well, it's a big step in this new chapter of his career as a Formula One driver. So you'd only be buzzing, and it's a new car, so much to learn, and it's just an exciting time for a driver to get to know the new beast that you're going to be racing with. And all drivers have some sort of relationship with a car, and this is where it begins.
I mean, Alex is driving later. He's a lot more familiar with that car, but focusing on Carlos for a moment, I just can't get my head around the amount of new information he's about to try and absorb. It must be overwhelming.
I mean, there's an element of it being overwhelming, but these are Formula One drivers. They're so adaptable, and he's had some laps in the car at the end of the season last year, so he's already had that bit of, that hardest leap of getting used to the car. But there's also the simulator. They're in the simulator constantly developing, getting to know all the buttons and all the functions and working with the team members. So he's not going into today cold turkey, shall we say.
Okay.
He's as prepared as he will be, and he's raced Formula One cars with multiple different teams, so he will know how to adapt as quickly as possible.
Such a tease for him, though, isn't it? 2 laps in that, we know he's chomping at the bit to do a lot more. I mean, a tease, as I said.
It is, and it's almost like, as Jensen was saying, you go to him and you ask him a question about it. You've not even had enough time in the car to properly absorb everything that's going on. You want to be in the car all day long to really get to know it, but you take what you can get.
You want to be in the car all day long, but you did mention it's very cold out there. I can't imagine how cold it is in the cockpit doing 150, 160 along the start-finish straight there.
Well, firstly, from a comfort perspective, it's not great, but even from a feedback perspective, the tires are cold. To just get a sense of grip, the track will be green. So even just from that perspective, reading what's really going on is going to be a challenge while having his face, his fingers, everything frozen. It's not easy, and it's not comfortable.
The best of luck to them.
Exactly.
Thank you, Naomi. It's been such a joy being part of this day. We're almost out of time. I say almost because it's important we make time on this most passionate of days for love. You'll remember at the top of the show I mentioned we intended to end the show with an affair to remember, an act of unbridled love for the ages on this perfect St. Valentine's Day. One lucky member of our audience is about to join us on stage where all their Formula One and sensual dreams will come true.
Oh, wow.
I know. So exciting. The envelope, please, if I may. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, it is literally in an envelope. Do you mind opening that?
Sure.
Thanks,
Here you
Neil.
go.
Actually, would you mind reading out the name as well?
Sure. The lucky person this morning to join us on stage is Mick Cleaver.
Mick Cleaver!
Do we have a Mick Cleaver?
Come to the stage, please, Mick. Where is he? Where is he?
There he is.
Destiny awaits, Mick. Prepare to enter a realm of pure pleasure. Pleasure you never knew was even possible. Come stand in the middle right here, Mick. Wonderful to meet you, sir.
Hello.
Meet Naomi.
How are you?
For anybody who missed it, what's your name and where you're from?
Dave Smith, and I'm from Harwich. No, Mick Cleaver.
Are you married or single?
Married.
Married. Is your wife a lady prone to fits of jealousy because things are about to get hot and heavy on the stage?
She wasn't.
Is she here? Is she here?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Okay,
here.
good. She's got front row seats. Fantastic. Hello, wife.
Oh, you're going to love this. This is going to be something to cherish. Are you ready for your special Valentine's, Mick?
Yes, definitely. Let's go for it.
All right. Take a deep breath because here come the goods. Bring it on, please. Oh, yeah! Ladies and gents, world champion, Jensen Button. Oh,
Let me get out of the
yes,
way.
look at this. Roses, a big teddy. And I believe the card has been personally inscribed by this cheeky Lothario. Jensen, would you like to read your handwritten message?
Obviously, I wrote this myself. Dear Mick, my love for you is deep, like the ocean. Love, Jensen Button.
How about that, ladies and gents?
Happy
So
Valentine's
sweet,
Day,
sweet like
Mick.
honey. How was that for you, Mick?
Beautiful.
I recommend whatever energy you've built up on the stage, you take home to your lovely wife there. Thank you very much. Let's hear it for Mick Cleaver, everyone. Thank you, Mick. Truly a money can't buy gift.
Where are my
Thank you,
flowers,
Jensen.
He's the man.
Well,
He's the man.
All right, that's us from everyone here at Atlassian Williams Racing. If you want to keep up to date with what's going on here today as the FW47 continues to go out on track, don't forget Alex will be driving later. You can follow us at williamsf1.com and on the Williams app. All the details are there on your screen and on our screens too. That's it from us. Thank you, guys. You've been wonderful. You've been phenomenal. We will catch you trackside. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.